The Ledger of Shadows. When numbers don't add up, something else is counting. Chapter 1. The Last Shift. It was 11:47 p.m. when Ethan realized he was the last one in the office. Month-end, finance deadlines. The kind of night where coffee becomes courage. Ethan, come on, just one more balance sheet. The printer suddenly whirred to life. No one had sent anything, no print job queued. Still, a single page slid out. Blank at first glance, until he saw it. You missed something. He laughed nervously. Ethan, okay, who's messing with me? Greg, this you? But the office was silent. Even the air felt different, heavier. The overhead light flickered. In the reflection of the glass wall behind him, he thought he saw movement, just a shadow, gone when he turned around. He sat back down, heart pounding. Numbers blurred on the screen, lines shifting. When he tried to close Excel, the system froze, and cell C13 began typing on its own. C13. I see you, Ethan. Printer starts again. Clock strikes midnight. He wasn't alone anymore. And whatever it was, it knew the numbers better than he did. Chapter 2. Unbalanced. Soft rain against the office windows. The next night, Ethan came back, pretending he wasn't scared. He told himself it was just exhaustion, and numbers and caffeine play tricks. He opened the month-end report again. But something was off. A $2.4 million difference? Gone. Vanished. No error logs, no trace. Ethan, muttering, "That's impossible. I balanced this yesterday." He re-entered the correct figures. But as soon as he hit save, the cell flickered and changed itself back. Ethan, what the? Then came the chill. A cold draft, like the AC had just sighed over his shoulder. He turned, empty hallway. His phone buzzed, a text, unknown number. You can't fix what's already paid for. Ethan froze. He checked the system logs. Someone had accessed the account minutes ago from his login. At 3:03 a.m., he shut the laptop and whispered to no one, "Who's doing this?" But somewhere deep in the dark server room, a faint voice answered back, "You are." Chapter 3. The 13th Floor. Friday night, rain hammering the city. Ethan told himself it was just a long week. Stress, numbers, nothing more. But as he stepped into the elevator, something felt off. He pressed 12. The elevator shuddered, then stopped. The screen flickered, not 12, not L. It showed 13, a floor that didn't exist. Doors slide open with a long, mechanical groan. Hello? Maintenance? A dark corridor stretched before him. Cubicles covered in dust, old monitors stacked like tombstones. At the far end, one desk lit by a single flickering lamp. On it, a stack of yellowed reports. He brushed off the top sheet and froze. Monthly Financial Statement, 2008. Signature, Michael Wren, Senior Accountant. Ethan's blood ran cold. Michael Wren, the whistleblower, who died in this building 15 years ago. The paper slides out slowly, the ink forming words Ethan wished he hadn't read. Welcome back, Michael. Chapter 4. Voices in the Vents. Sound. Ethan hadn't told anyone about the 13th floor. Who would believe him? A ghost accountant sending texts from the grave? So he did what finance people do best. He buried it under work. But the silence didn't stay silent for long. At first, he thought it was the AC. Then he realized the whisper wasn't air, it was counting. Voice, faint from the vents. 457, debit, credit. He leaned closer. Who's there? He recorded it on his phone. Playback revealed another voice overlapping his own, a whisper of his name. Ethan. Balance the books. He looked around the empty office. Every monitor screen reflected movement just behind him. But when he turned, nothing. That night, he found new lines added to the ledger, transactions he'd never entered. all dated 15 years ago, and signed by Kaminer or Wren. Whisper returns, closer now. You're one of us now. Chapter 5, The Audit. Monday morning. Ethan tried to pretend everything was normal, coffee, deadlines, a small talk. But the office felt colder, the air thicker. Then came the email. Subject, internal audit, urgent review. Sent from the finance director, copied to HR, director in meeting room. Ethan, we need to talk about the missing archive files. They were accessed last night. Under your login, Ethan. That's impossible, I wasn't even here. The system says 3:03 a.m. Ethan's stomach turned. He checked the logs himself and froze. There it was. His ID, his credentials. Accessing folders from 15 years ago. He opened the security footage. The timestamp matched. A lone figure sat at his desk, shoulders hunched, typing endlessly. Ethan, whispering. That's not me. The camera panned slightly. The figure looked up. Same suit, same glasses. But the face wasn't alive. Voice from speaker. Your audit isn't over, Ethan. Chapter 6. The confession spreadsheet. Ethan returned that night, heart hammering. The office was empty. Too empty. But the computer screen blinked, waiting. On the desktop, a file he didn't remember creating. File name confessions.xlsx. He opened it. Rows of names, dates, and numbers filled the sheet. Insurance payouts, embezzlement, cover-ups, transactions linked to deaths. He scrolled, disbelief turning to fear. Ethan, muttering, This can't be real. Voice, faint. It's all real. Every number tells a story. He looked closer. Each entry had a warning. Next, Ethan Cole. The room chilled. His coffee cup trembled. He tried to close the file. It wouldn't. The cells typed on their own. The printer sputtered, spitting a single sheet. Balance the ledger, or join the rest. Ethan realized the ghost wasn't just haunting him. It was guiding him, forcing him to see the truth hidden in the books, and warning him that staying silent could cost him more than his job. Chapter 7. Ghost in the Books. Ethan stared at the spreadsheet, frozen. Every row, every number, every name, they were more than transactions. They were lives, and every life had been silenced. The ghost guided his hands across the ledger. Voice, from vent, calm but firm. You weren't chosen. You were... Ethan's reflection shimmered in the monitor. He thought he saw the ghost of Michael Wren, the accountant who vanished 15 years ago, sitting behind him, guiding the cursor over the corrupted files. Ethan, whispering, Why me? Why now? Voice, because the ledger must be balanced. The guilty walk free only when someone remembers them. He realized the missing transactions, the internal audit, the haunting. It wasn't random. The company had buried the scandal, protecting powerful executives. And now it was using him to expose the truth. Ethan understood the risk. If he failed, he'd vanish too. But if he succeeded, he could finally bring justice to the dead. Chapter 8. The Midnight Report. It was exactly midnight when Ethan sat back, exhausted but resolute. The ghost had guided him through the spreadsheet. Every hidden transaction, every long-buried secret. Now, the evidence was ready. He hesitated. Sending the files would destroy careers, maybe put him in danger. But the whisper in the vent urged him on. Send it. Balance the ledger. Ethan hit send. Emails flew to employees, executives, journalists. Every hidden misdeed exposed in real time. The office lights flickered violently. The printer groaned and began spitting out, page after page, names, dates, amounts, a trail of corruption laid bare. Ethan, breathless. It's done. It has to be done. The ghost whispered one final warning. You've started something, but the ledger doesn't forgive mistakes. Ethan leaned back, staring at the screens, knowing the fallout would be swift, and that the office wasn't finished with him yet. Chapter 9. The Investigation. The next morning, chaos ruled the office. Emails had spread like wildfire. Management panicked. Ethan walked in trying to look calm, but his chest pounded. Ethan, please come with me. We need to discuss the email leak, Ethan calmly under his breath. I didn't do it. The HR office was cold, fluorescent lights humming. Your login accessed files last night. How do you explain that? Ethan opened his mouth, but the words caught in his throat. He glanced at the monitor. The ghost's warning echoed in his mind. I can show you the files. It's not just me. Someone's helping me. The HR rep frowned. Helping you? Ethan, we're serious. If you tampered with company data. Suddenly the lights flickered violently. Screens glitched. A faint whisper drifted through the office fence. You've done nothing wrong. They just don't want the truth. Ethan realized then. Exposing corruption wasn't just a fight against numbers, and it was a battle against the living, and the dead were watching. Chapter 10. Zero balance. Ethan sat in the dark office, watching the fallout unfold. The emails had gone public, investors, press, employees. Everyone was talking. Ethan whispering to himself, it's finally out. But the company wasn't done. HR and executives demanded explanations. Director on phone, angry. Ethan, we need a statement. Now, he felt a chill. The ghost's presence wrapped around him like smoke. The printer started again, ejecting one last page, a ledger, final, complete. At the bottom, a single line, CFO, responsible. Balance restored. Ethan realized what had happened. Jake, the corrupt CFO, vanished during the investigation. The ghost hadn't just exposed him, it had punished the guilty. The ledger always balances, eventually. Ethan exhaled, relief, fear, awe. He looked at the empty office, the screens glowing softly. Some battles are won, but the ghosts of the ledger never truly leave.